Well, there can be no more excuses for the Sydney Roosters this afternoon. It is make or break for them if they want to make the top 8 in season 2011. It's been a horror year after they made the grand final in 2010 with just 4 wins. All of those 4 have come here at the Footy Stadium. They take on the Penrith Panthers lineup that's looking to make it 3 wins in a row under new coach Steve Georgalis. And they've received a boost as we see their backline as per program. It comes in the forwards because their State of Origin players will play. Petro Civoniceva in jersey number 18 and Luke Lewis in 19. That means dropping back to the interchange bench Grant and Smith to join Saliuini and Weston. The players missing out today, Bell and Fatiaki. The coach is Steve Georgalis. Well, the Roosters will have to win today without Anthony Minichiello. He is not backing up from Origin 3, and that means Phil Graham returns to first grade for the Roosters this afternoon in 20. Likely to play on the wing with Sam Perrott moving back to fullback. Mitchell Pearce will back up and joins Todd Carney in the halves. Pearce playing his 100th first grade game today. Tom Simons comes into the starting lineup. There's no Jared Waweera-Hargreaves. The captain is Braithen Astor. The interchange bench looks this way. Mitchell, Masoi, Takarangi and Arona. The coach is Brian Smith. And joining me in commentary, Gary Belcher. And Gary, this is it for the Roosters. It's now or never.
You'd reckon, wouldn't you, Mark? 12 points. They win today. They win 9 in a row. They're on 30. Well, maybe 8. 8 out of the 9, they're on 28 and they make the final. So it's desperation stakes really for the Sydney Roosters. Pretty poor the last few weeks. Last few words being spoken there by Braithen Astor, the skipper, as the Panthers make their way out. Not so much trouble in their camp. They're looking very good of late.
Well, it's remarkable what a couple of weeks can do to turn a season around. 2 wins in a row for Penrith with the new coach Steve Georgalis, who will be here for the remainder of the year before Ivan Cleary takes over. Some players playing for their future. And all of a sudden, there's a spark and a little bit of a spring in the step of the Penrith Panthers, who are led out by Petro Civoniceva, who was outstanding again on Wednesday night for Queensland in their 6th straight series win. And the Penrith Panthers looking to make it 3 wins in a row. They don't have a great record here at the Footy Stadium. One man on the outside of Luke Walsh, who's been terrific and really strong in recent weeks, has been Travis Burns.
I think it's typical of how the Panthers have been playing, with that desperation and willingness to throw the football around, to try things. He came up with a couple of great tries last week, Travis Burns, but in the thick of things, as always, and there's plenty of those players in this team. You'll have young Lachlan Coote around him, around the football a lot as well. Luke Lewis is another one of those players that's heavily involved, but yeah, Travis Burns defensively always in the action and around the football, forming a good partnership with Luke Walsh.
There is Petro. Will he go around next year? And based on his form on Wednesday night, there's no reason why he shouldn't play again in 2012 for Queensland. And here come the Roosters, led out by Braithen Astor. It is game number 100 today for Mitchell Pearce in first grade. No Anthony Minichiello, no Jared Waweera-Hargreaves. Waweera-Hargreaves had played in every game so far this season. He misses out today, and it is now or never for the Sydney Roosters. If they want to play come September, and more importantly October, they must win today. They must show that they are capable of matching it with the best sides in the competition, something they haven't done at all in season 2011. And they need the Dally M medalist of 2011, or 2010 I should say, to show some of that form this afternoon.
We have seen glimpses in recent weeks of what he can do, Todd Carney, but their hopes seem to hinge on how he performs. He hasn't really been, I reckon, in a happy place since he had that 3-week enforced layoff in round 7 to 9, but yeah, if he gets his game together, anything could happen. This bloke too, he was wonderful again for Queensland. He's been involved in all 6 series wins. And if he can turn it on for the Roosters, they're a big show.
Now 2 referees this afternoon who were here on Monday night. Matt Chikin is one of those. He was hoping to stay on his feet for 80 minutes today. There he is in his 104th NRL game, and Henry Perenara in just his 2nd. So all is in readiness on a chilly, fine, windy afternoon in Sydney, and it is the Penrith Panthers that get us underway through Brad Tighe. The Roosters defending the northern end of the Sydney Football Stadium in front of a pretty small crowd, as you can imagine, with the Roosters going so poorly. And one thing we do know about the Roosters fans, when they do turn up, the regulars, they're always in fine voice. 20 out from their own line. Riles plays it. They go wide early. It was Miles, I should say. Trying to get on the outside of the Panthers in this first set. 30 metres out from their own line.
Milking, he's got his arm stuck.
Luke Lewis with his hand caught in there. Thought we were going to be there till full time. Neither player wanted to give an inch. And some strong defence from the Penrith Panthers, forcing Garangi back in the tackle. Now the kick coming, and it's taken there by Coote. 20, 30, up towards the 40-metre line before he's tackled 10 shy of the halfway line.
Wait here, Jake. Hold, go.
Simmons, a couple of metres away from halfway. Simon's one of the defenders. Also in there was Nate Miles with Todd Carney. Waterhouse. Simons and Miles there again. On the short side come the Panthers through McKendry and find themselves just shy of the 30-metre line. Quick out of acting half. Here's Kingston. A wild pass, bounces nicely for Ty, who beats a tackle, still going, got support, and the Penrith Panthers, after an ordinary play from acting half, Kevin Kingston will come up with a try. Braithen Astor screaming at Henry Perinara to check it, but when the ball hit the ground, the Roosters stopped. Brad Ty somehow finding a hole, and Kevin Kingston was backing up.
It was a real quick play, the ball from McKendry that got them some space, but a poor pass in the back there from Walsh. I wonder what Anasta was complaining about. Was one of his players obstructed there? Well, it didn't really seem so. Frank Paul Nuwasala had one Panther near him, but I don't think he was obstructed from making the tackle. Brad Ty stepping back inside. Nice short ball there to Kingston. He made sure he kept him onside and made sure the football went backwards. So what a start from the Panthers. Gee, you're worried. You're worried if you're a Rooster at this point.
Sort of sums up their season, doesn't it? The ball was awful from Luke Walsh, who threw the ball way over the head of the man that just converted the try, Travis Burns, who has yet to miss a goal so far this season, and the Roosters just seem to stop.
What happens often when the football hits the ground, like it did behind all of the players, your defensive line gets a bit out of whack. Some players chase up and some hold back, and suddenly Brad Ty turned and he really had no one to beat, or he had one player to beat, went through the line with ease.
And they come back, the Roosters, to restart. So with the first touch of the football, the Panthers have scored. And all that enthusiasm, all that optimism, as the Roosters made their way onto the ground, would have taken a huge battering there. McKendry on the return. The Roosters off either side with a really strong westerly blowing here in Sydney. And it's hard to tell at the Sydney Football Stadium who it is behind, but it would favour just slightly the Roosters, I think, in this first half, and it really is blowing a gale today.
Yeah, that looks to be the way. It wasn't a bad kick that Mitchell Pearce got away the first set the Roosters had. But straight away, the Panthers, when they decided to use those big men going forward, they did it pretty easy. Waterhouse now getting through the line, or half getting through, and that's where his offloads will come into play later in the match.
Straight into the head there of Nate Miles, not played at, says the referee, and so Coote has to kick the ball again. And it is straight down the throat of Phil Graham, who's playing at fullback in the absence of Anthony Minicello. And the Roosters have a 25 out from their own line. That would have hurt Nate Miles. Now they get a penalty. Both teams have lacked discipline in that area in season 2011. He just got his hands up in the way.
He did.
The shock of it.
Oh, they haven't kicked it out.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get much worse for the Roosters, they failed to find touch, trying to bite off a bit more they can chew with that Nor'wester. Trying to just get more metres than they really needed.
You'd think with that westerly, you know, that would be the side to kick it as well, wouldn't you? But just didn't get hold of it properly.
Get back, get back. 1-2, right in front of me.
And now they're inside the 10, right in front of the posts. Maybe a bit far out here, 28 metres, kicking into the teeth of that breeze. That's more of a wind. Very blustery conditions in Sydney today. What are they going to do here, the Panthers? Going to take the tap through Kingston, the try scorer, Sivanasiva. Scored a terrific try a couple of weeks ago on NRL Sunday. The big step, and Gene Miles step, and over in Big Petro. Here's McKendry. Inside the 10, Miles around the legs, the offload, Kingston, quick hands, Plum, inside Coote. And Miles comes again to make the tackle. Just 4 metres away from the goal line. Kingston out of acting half, across field, turns it back to Lewis. Lewis finds Burns, had Vaivai a long way outside of him, decided not to pass the football, took the tackle of Friend a couple of metres away, now another penalty.
Wait, H.
Frank Paul Nuasala penalised there, and now they're going to take the 2, they will. Well, that's surprising.
It is surprising on the back of a set of 6 where they really had the Roosters struggling. They would have had to make another 6 tackles. Frank Paul here, the man penalised, just holding on too long. Got a bit of some sort of headlock, arm lock there happening. I would have thought they'd go for more points. They're looking really sharp in attack, the Panthers.
He's yet to miss a goal. Travis Burns, 17, he's kicked from 17 after taking over from Michael Gordon, of course, who's out for the season with a knee injury. So when they thought they may have been missing a sharpshooter in Gordon, well, Travis Burns has stepped up to the mark, has not missed, 100% at the moment.
Yes.
And that's inside the right-hand upright, and so they come away with a couple of points. The Panthers, they lead by 8 points to 0 after 7 minutes of play. As we head downstairs for the first time this afternoon to say good afternoon to Brett Kamali. And Brett, well, the Roosters couldn't have started this game any worse, really.
No, they couldn't have started any worse. Penalties, drop balls and bad discipline. Well, when you're down in confidence, you need those simple things to go right for you. And for the Panthers, in confidence, a sign of enthusiasm. They're flying and the pace that they're playing is a lot quicker than the Roosters.
Just be careful here, Braithen Astor, not to get too much height on this. He's got a massive boot, and with that wind behind him...
Stay behind!
Oh, you'd hate this to go over the dead ball line on the full.
Which you did from the start of the game last week against Canberra. And he drilled that. Taken on the goal line by Walsh, who gives it to Sivanasiva, who is tackled 15 out from his own line. Let's see. Enthusiasm in defence here from the Roosters if they can keep the Panthers down there. Jason Riles came really out of that tackle. A bit of a burner, I think, on the left shoulder. The Panthers go away from him. Plum tackled there by Jake Friend. Up towards the 40. Now here's Walsh, Coote, Burns, Vaivai. Kenny Dowell in front of him. He made the tackle right on the halfway line. Mitchell Pearce was there as well. Simmons at acting half. Here's Burns. Long ball to no one in particular. Plum got a nice bounce. It was almost intercepted by Braithen Astor. It is the last tackle here for the Panthers, and Walsh kicks it into the corner. It's a good kick and a good chase, and Graham looks up and has white jerseys in front of him. And Kevin Kingston made the tackle.
He'll have plenty of work to do, bring the football off his own line there. Phil Graham this afternoon, although I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Perrott gets a bit of a go, swapping over with between winger and fullback with Graham. But yeah, Luke Walsh kicking game on song in recent weeks and just got that exactly where he wanted in the corner.
Pearce. Paul Nuasala tackle, 10 short of the halfway line. Roosters into the field. Pearce will kick from outside the 40, keeping it low, and Pertell decides to use the foot. Now Coote. And then the kick that led the chase and made the tackle. Walsh. Simmons. 7 tries so far this season. Dave Simmons played every match so far for the Panthers in 2011. Waterhouse plays it. Here's Sivanasiva. Now Walsh. Burns stepped out of his shoe. Did he? No, it's just a bit of paper he stepped upon. Coote goes into acting half. Walsh kicking early into the corner. Graham. And he has too much pace for the chase of Kingston. Now they've got a chance here, the Roosters. Kenny Dowell down the touchline. The cover is there, though, from Penrith. And a good return from the Sydney Roosters, and there's a knock on.
Oh,
Tom
they just can't
Simons,
get it right.
That acting half. He tried to get a quick pass away, but was passing it before he'd picked it up.
It was a really good effort there from Phil Graham, but not so there, Tom Simons. Just the second grab at the football. Yeah, Phil Graham brought it back well. There was only 4 chases there. Not great from the Panthers. And he skirted around them and linked up with Sam Perrott. Looked dangerous there for a moment. For one tackle at least.
I don't think they expected the kick. The Panthers chases. It was only tackle 4.
Well, they're going to have to improve that chase up the middle of the field because he's got amazing speed, Graham.
Stay in, Phil. 2 ends. 2 ends. Out.
And here come the Panthers. Another opportunity on the back of a mistake
1
from the Roosters. They're inside the 20. Right in centre field, McKendry plays it. Now Sivanasiva up the middle of the ruck. Paul Nuasala, one of the defenders, with Jason Riles, 9 metres away from the goal line. Kingston at acting half. Here's McKendry, straight at Simons. Pearce tries to help. Being pushed over by Kingston. Is he in the in-goal area? He's got to be careful, Kingston, not to touch a defender when he does that. Awful pass out of acting half from Kingston. Through Walsh, picked up by Sivanasiva. Now it comes to Lewis, intercept taken by Leilua. And some sloppy play from acting half from Kingston. The play was never going to be a good one, and the Roosters survive.
3 times now we've seen the Panthers. They throwing sloppy passes out the back there from dummy half or from first receiver. So not even they're ahead on the scoreboard. They're looking okay in attack, but they just need to tidy that area up. I wonder if the wind is playing some sort of role in that. It is very strong, that westerly or maybe norwesterly we're getting.
Riles will play it on the last, and there's the kick from Pearce. It's a high one being floated by the breeze. Lachlan Coote dropped the ball and then was hit by Anasta. Tackle count restarts. Carney had an unmarked man on his outside through the dummy, and Luke Walsh came up with a try saver. Leilua from acting half scores. The Roosters are in. Leilua scores his 5th of the season. It came on the back of a drop ball from Lachlan Coote. And the Roosters take advantage.
Oh, these are the conditions today, aren't they, for a halfback, a kicker, just to hoist it up in the air. It's always going to be tricky. Look at this one get right away from Lachlan Coote. Gee, he copped one there from Anasta. Was that just before he got to the football or not? Referee rules play on. They can't go back that far with the video ref. It's a tackle later. Carney almost over. Leilua very easy out of dummy half. I think he did the right thing there, Todd Carney. He had to throw the dummy. The last player that he drew went for the intercept, and he just couldn't get over the line, but nice work there from his winger. Someone's down hurt in the back of the Panthers.
I think it's Trent Waterhouse. Maybe, is it? It is Trent Waterhouse, a knee problem. And he's no good.
Not
Straight from the field.
Right knee.
And it is not good for the Panthers. Todd Carney, he's the man that has the job here. Just 3 goals he's kicked so far this year. So Braithen Astor has relinquished goal-kicking duties. Again, 2 from 2 last week. Because he didn't kick, he had surgery in the off-season on his groins, Todd Carney, so maybe, or obviously in the last couple of weeks, he's decided that he's fully fit and taking the roll back. And that's low, and it's hit the upright. He drilled it. It wasn't cleanly struck, but it nearly got over. 8 points to 4. It is the Panthers over the Roosters, and on top of the 4 points they conceded in the try. The Panthers, they've lost Trent Waterhouse with a knee injury, and Nathan Smith is on.
Well, he was in a bad position to get hold of it, Lachlan Coote, but yeah, he was impeded a bit there by Anasta. Play on.
And here the Roosters set after points where they've struggled. And Trent Waterhouse has gone straight up the tunnel with the head bowed. And the way the trainer was looking at his knee in the in-goal area, I wouldn't be surprised if it's ACL as opposed to medial.
Certainly hope not.
Also, 5 short of the halfway line, 10 in from the eastern touchline here at the footy stadium. Miles. It is the last here for the Roosters. Pearce. Long ball, Kenny Dowell. Vai stopped him and Kenny Dowell lost it.
Yeah, he lost it forward. Came off Travis Burns.
Mate, hey, if you can, chip Petro about holding in the play the ball.
Don't mind that last tackle, trying to run it. Would prefer if they'd got to their kick or come up with a better result. The field position is not great, but at least they're prepared to have a go. Nice long ball there, Mitchell Pearce.
We'll just put the Panthers defenders in a little bit of two minds next time on the last tackle. Does the winger Dave Simmons or Adrian Purtell drop back? Will they run it again this time? Which can open up a whole range of options for them on the last tackle.
Yeah, and mate, that's right. If he has to stay up, and they should stay up a bit longer, that gives your kicker a bit more room to get the ball in behind, into the corner.
Kick from Coote into the corner. Graham is there with Perrott. And he takes it, and tackle from Coote is terrific. Good kick and good chase from the Panthers fullback. Graham, tackled by Plum. Carney. Now Pearce looking back on the inside. There was no one there. Eventually found Carney, who found Leilua.
Off him now, let go.
And he's tackled on the 30-metre line. Friend. With the hands, and Miles gets it back only just from Riles. Now Pearce, dumming to Simons. Drops off Kenny Dowell, but they're going across field. Now they're going backwards, the Roosters, which is normally easy meat for the defence. And finally, Luke Walsh makes the tackle. Quick play the ball. Carney, now Anasta. Here's an opportunity. Linnet into open space. Where's the support? There's none there. Coote makes the tackle off the foot of Leilua. Picked up here by Anasta. Tackle count restarts. The ball has gone a mile forward, and it's intercepted there by Junior Vai.
What about the ball movement there from the Roosters? They've thrown that 20 passes in the last two tackles. They finally went upfield and almost came up. Well, they were heading towards a try. If that ball had gone over the top and gone backwards from Anasta, there were very, very few Panthers defenders out wide.
McKendry.
They didn't look like a team with low confidence there, did they? Prepared to have a go.
Yeah, but they were going across field and backwards there for a while, and then once they started to go forwards, they looked a little bit more dangerous, as the Panthers are at the moment, with 2 tackles left in this set.
Yeah, they don't want to keep giving the Panthers football back in this position.
Here is the last tackle. Walsh puts it up. Is it too deep? Here comes Perrott. He takes it very well. It was just a metre too deep. Now here's trouble for Penrith. Perrott takes the quick tap, and now they've got a chance here, the Roosters. Graham from behind, Junior Vai wraps him up on the halfway line.
He was unsure whether he should tackle him there, Vai, because he was offside at the tap.
Yeah, but not when the bloke had run 20 metres, he was. And into space, Carney, the ball from Pearce, and it was on the back of a quick tap from Sam Perrott, and the Roosters have levelled it up and will hit the lead. Todd Carney scores the try. Mitchell Pearce with a pass, but put it down to Sam Perrott.
Yeah, it was a pretty poor kicker when you look at the standard that Luke Walsh has set for himself. It landed in the in goal. Perrott caught it on the full, the quick tap, You see Graham with a bit of room to move. He eventually gets tackled. But what about this short ball? He held it up really well. Mitchell Pearce looked to throw wide. Short one to Todd Carney, and Carney in open space. Never going to catch him from there. The Roosters, can you believe, in the lead. The way they started, it didn't look like this was going to happen this afternoon at all, but they've got themselves in the lead, courtesy of their second try to Todd Carney.
50 career tries for Carney as well. But I think that try, even though that'll be a try assist for Mitchell Pearce with a great ball, you should give half a try assist to Sam Perrott for getting back to the 20-metre line and taking the quick tap and pushing it to this right-hand side where the Panthers were in all sorts of trouble. And right in front, Todd Carney to convert his own try to put them in front. And there it is, and they are in front here, the Roosters, by 10 points to 8. As we head down to the touchline, Brett Camorley, maybe the worm is turning for the Roosters.
Yes, that's right. It's been funny this year being a spectator instead of a player. The momentum of a football game is so important. Confidence lifts after one good thing. You saw the Roosters score a try. Sam Perrott catches a bomb. Then all of a sudden they start hitting holes and the sparks return.
See, Luke Walsh's kicking game is so good and so accurate that his whole team chases. That whole left side chased that kick. And when it was easily diffused by Perrott in the in goal, well, there was no one back when he took the quick tap.
Since round 6, in the first 20 minutes of a game, the Roosters have only scored 12 points in total.
Is this 10 of them?
No, now it's 22, but
right.
Technically that 6 points came just outside the 20-minute mark, but they've been notoriously slow starters, the Roosters, this season. But now all of a sudden, when they hit the front, they get a bit of football, they start throwing it around, they're finding holes. Here's Graham, support on the inside. It comes a little bit too late and he dropped it, Mossy Masoi. If there was one player on the field you didn't want backing up, and no disrespect intended to big Mossy Masoi, it would have been him. Anyone else?
Can I just say,
he did well.
It's great play by Graham, but what about this tackle from Lachlan Coote? He put the big in and away pretty early on him too. He's got a big swerve on him. Phil Graham, the step off the left, tried to go in and away, and Lachlan Coote was with him all the way. Now that's a saved try there from the Penrith fullback. Masoi just unable to hold on to the football. Some concerns now about the Panthers' defence. It's opened up so easily.
Here's Purtell. A bit shell-shocked here, the Panthers. As the Panthers get up towards the halfway line, let's find out the latest news on Trent Waterhouse, Brett Camorley.
Yeah, Trent Waterhouse is a grade 1 medial strain, so 50-50 whether he will return. Just on Mossy Masoi, I'll let him know where you're parked, Mark Braybook, and you might be injured after the game as well.
And a knock on here from the Panthers. But you know what I was trying to allude to, the fact that...
Don't get me into this one. He's a big unit.
He was. And anyone else would have raced away. I don't think even if he caught it, Mossy would have been able to...
Oh, he would have scored easily.
I don't know. He did well, as I said, to get there.
Sorry, mate, just stay there. All the way in, Jake.
No, I'm with Brett Camorley on that one.
Out.
Good on you.
Yours, mate.
Typical.
Good back up there, Mossy. Very unlucky.
One. Release.
Simons. Hit by Vai and on the ground. 5 metres short. On the halfway line, Miles.
3. Move now.
He's himself a metre shy of that mark. And another penalty.
Too long.
Fresh on the field, Dane Weston giving away the penalty. And all of a sudden, the Roosters can do no wrong, and they're on a roll, and they're playing with a little bit of confidence, and they haven't found touch again.
Oh, you're kidding.
Well, as I was just about to say, maybe they're starting to find that X factor they haven't been able to find. They give away possession after a penalty by not finding touch and then concede one themselves.
The Panthers can't believe their luck. They're on the back foot. They'd given away a penalty. And now suddenly it's them back up on the 30-metre line, and this is where they're so dangerous. They're the best side at the end of their set of 6 normally when it comes to a try-scoring play from a kick.
Plum into space, supporting, they won't catch. Lachlan Coote, who races away and scores, and the Sydney Roosters have paid the ultimate price. Failing to find touch for the second time in the game from a penalty, the Panthers then score and lead 12-10.
Well, here it is, the kick that doesn't find touch. It's low, it's hard, but it's not over the line. Great work out there from Simmons it was, and the short ball, just have a look at this nice pass here, Plum to Coote, no one at home. Panthers back in front. They were just on the back foot totally, defensively struggling, and they've been gifted that try, you've got to say, by the Roosters. Really didn't kick it out, then gave away a penalty on first tackle. He'll be scratching his head, Brian Smith.
He might be past that.
But it's just minute to minute for them, isn't it? They'll have a good set of 6 and then they're back with some poor stuff again.
Here is Travis Burns continuing his perfect record, and it is the Panthers 14, the Sydney Roosters 10, down to the touchline. Brett Kamali, what were you saying about momentum?
Momentum can change from one thing, the confidence boost that the Panthers just got on the Roosters' mistake, then all of a sudden the lift. I want to give Nigel Plum a rap. Last week, pink headgear on was outstanding, and today you see significant impact on the game. Great offload.
It's remarkable how these players train and they have all their structures, as they say, and they do this for certain plays, etc. And Simmons, well, you can't deliberately throw the ball forward in your own in goal either. It's a goal line dropout. That could easily have been a penalty against David Simmons for deliberately throwing the ball forward. You can't be offside in your own in goal.
It'd be deliberate if you flick it around your back. You're just desperately trying to throw it in.
Yes.
He's just throwing it anywhere, anywhere with hope.
Well, what I'm saying is that a penalty 10 metres out to the Roosters is much better than a goal line dropout. The point I was about to make about all these plays they have, it's those simple things, not finding touch from a penalty, not catching the ball on the full from the restart. Now all of a sudden the Roosters.
We're seeing some wonderful play out here, but we're seeing some absolute ordinary stuff as well at times. Even that drop out there was a shocker. Penalty in front. Do they look to it?
Just laying there, mate.
Or get closer. The Roosters.
Wow. What a game we're having here this afternoon. And it's strip, is it?
It is stripped. Well, he had the hands on the football there, Travis Burns.
Leave it, Tim.
He's a fiery fella, isn't he?
Wait. Take your time.
Never afraid to mix it with the big boys.
What are you doing? Tap, here's your mark. Okay.
Here is Masui.
1. Release!
15 metres away. Can the Roosters hit back? On the back of the Panthers' mistake and penalty. Here's a Nasta. Short ball stepping. They will score. Graham. He hasn't played since round 8. And Phil Graham makes it level here at the Footy Stadium. 14-all with a kick to come. And I'm getting giddy.
What is going on with that defence, that right side defence there for the Panthers?
The first time in 12 weeks they've scored more than 13 points, the Roosters, and they've done it in less than half an hour.
And there was the strip, the penalty, second tackle. Have a look at this. Going sideways. Oh, they're going backwards. They're going sideways. Luke Walsh, he's 3 metres behind his inside defender, so someone's got that wrong there. Is it Lewis or Walsh? One's up out of the line, one's back and going backwards. That's easy for Phil Graham there to just step back off the left foot into that hole. He would have been screaming for the football, seeing what was going on with the the Panthers. This should put them in the lead.
Right, all on the back of the Panthers not catching the ball from the restart when they'd scored. Here's Carney. And there is the extra 2, and it is now 16-14. The Roosters over the Panthers, and don't forget you can follow the stats of your favourite player during today's game at our new mobile site. Just tap m.foxsports.com.au into the browser on your smartphone to access live player stats and results at any time. It's a free service, so get on board. m.foxsports.com.au. Do you know what a smartphone is, Badge?
I was going to ask you, how do you know if you've got a smartphone?
I have no idea.
Okay. Someone will clarify that for us.
Here's Masoi. Can the Roosters put a good set together after points? And which will be the first team to settle down?
Well, a point a minute. Oh, that's easy, isn't it? The middle of the ruck, the 1 or 2 passes wide defensively for the Panthers is really awful today. Oh, that's a bad pass over the shoulder.
I've got it. 0.
Well, another set after points incomplete. And turning the ball over in good field position as well.
1 there. Clearing now.
Plum plays it. Lewis. Big Miles coming in late. Lewis getting up slowly. Walsh, an awful ball. Kenny Dow has given the ball to Mitchell Pearce, and the only man that can tackle him is Henry Perenara at the moment. Here comes Adrian Purtell. The ball out in front of Leilua. Gary Belcher, I cannot believe what I'm seeing today. This is unbelievable.
Well, they're both struggling to get through their sets. Kenny Dow latched onto a pass. Was that ruled forward or a knock-on? I'd like to see it again. I mean, it was a big looping pass over the top. He won't get it from this angle here. Nice ball, Kenny Dow to Pearce. He tried to link back inside, but he couldn't. Simmons was between him and Kenny Dow. Oh, there it is, yeah. Just made them a mistake on the end. Well, you wouldn't really call that his mistake, would you? It was a really tough pass there from Mitchell Pearce. Looped it over to Leilua.
Swimmers don't dive that far at the start of a race.
It was a good effort, a real good effort. Maybe the kick. What would he do if he had this chance on that one again, Mitchell? Probably put a kick into the in goal. Maybe just go down with it on first tackle.
What's going to happen next? Here's Weston.
Oh, something unbelievable. One of these teams could get to the end of a set and get a kick away. It's been a while.
It hasn't been copybook stuff, but it's been entertaining.
It has.
Here's Coote. Well, that ball out in front of Simmons, who puts boot to ball, and Graham has it covered and takes the tackle there of Coote.
He did well, Graham. He just couldn't get to his feet, and knowing that if he did, a Panthers player was likely to grab him and drag him over the sideline. Just had to hold his ground there after he took that kick through.
Kenny Dow.
Gee, they're both keen to throw it around, and once again, it looks like the Roosters want to go out to their left out wide.
And 3 tackles gone, and they were 5 metres out from their own line. The Roosters. Now Perrott, as he does so often, gets them out towards the 20. Jason Riles coming on the field for Nate Miles for the Roosters, and that is their 3rd interchange. Pearce from well inside his 40. Got a good piece of it as well. But it's a nice bounce here for Simmons. Pearce leads the chase, and the shoulder charge, and then Rona comes in as well. It gets the Roosters fans excited. And thereafter, a forward pass out of acting half from Kingston.
3, let go.
And that was called offside then, but the tackle was made by Carney. Now here is Walsh. Travis Burns taken to ground. Simon's the defender. Here's Walsh. Gives it to Weston, who loses the football, and the Roosters have come up with it and have an opportunity. Into space, Carney, chased by Coote. He won't have the pace. Todd Carney will score. Another mistake from the Panthers, and the Roosters have increased their lead. It's a mistake-a-thon at the Sydney Football Stadium.
They're going to check the mistake. It was from Dane Weston, who hasn't had a real happy time on the field since he came off the bench.
Checking what?
Well, what maybe whether it was knocked out or I don't know.
Well, if it was knocked out, it went backwards. It was the only reason it was knocked out, as if because he tried to pass it under pressure.
Well, they weren't checking the put down from the try, that's for sure. Well, there's the ball coming out, and it's gone backwards there off of Anasta. So,
is it a strip, or is he just making the tackle?
Oh, he loose carry, but they'll rule it a strip. You've got to hold on to it a bit tighter than that, haven't you?
I think they'll rule it a strip.
I think they will, yeah.
Bernie Sutton, our video referee this afternoon.
See, they don't actually already call play on, so if Carney doesn't score...
It's play on.
It's play on, but unfortunately, I think for the Roosters there, that one's going to be brought back.
No.
Really?
Well, why is that?
See, I'd changed my mind on that. I thought it was a loose carry, but now it looks like they're checking the put down and they're going to give it a try.
And there it is, a try.
How many were in the tackle?
Well, there was 2 in the tackle, and Braithen Astor certainly got his hand to the football. I agree with you, there wasn't a great carry by Weston. But as the law stands, I think Braithen Astor, I mean, you just see that time after time penalised.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to go with that because it looked like he was trying to get the ball free to maybe offload. It was a loose carry, and Braith just happened to have his hand on it at the time. But, gee, I've seen those penalised time and time again.
Well, they need a bit of luck, the Roosters, don't they? I think they got a bit there. Four out from half-time. What a time to score it, too. I think there was certainly a hand from Anasta in there. Certainly 2 in the tackle, wasn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Good day so far for Todd Carney. 2 tries, 2 goals. It's not even half-time. And can you believe it? The Sydney Roosters, who have not scored more than 13 points in 12 weeks, have now scored 22 in 37 minutes. I think that says something about the Panthers' defence as well.
Yeah, not just their defence in the areas that they've come up with. They're really making it hard on themselves here, the Panthers, mind you. When they've had the football, they haven't been afraid to have a go with it, the Roosters, and I think that's a good thing to see. A team down on confidence, normally they'll just tuck it under their arm and try to complete their sets, but they're not afraid to have a go.
And you can't say they've been completing their sets today, the Roosters, 13 of 21. But from 13 complete sets, they've scored 22 points. It's around that ruck area. They're finding some holes. Here's Kenny Dow.
Both sides have been playing the ball relatively quickly today too.
Carney. Monster in the tackle. Kendry was involved and Brad Tye over the top. It is the last, and the Roosters will get to their kick through Pearce. Another tester here for Lachlan Coote, looking into the sun. He was hit in the air by Tom Simons.
Lachlan, no. Settle that way. No way, not that one.
That was dangerous from Tom Simons.
It was. It didn't look like he was going for the football at all, Simons. And I reckon Coote, that's exactly what that penalty is about, why the rule has come in to protect fullbacks. Might have hurt his back a little bit there too. Coote Simons looking at the football, but then really didn't have his arms up at all like he was going to try to catch it.
Can the Panthers score just before the break? Certainly wouldn't discount it.
No, not on what we've seen.
Wouldn't discount the Roosters scoring before the break either, from a mistake from Penrith. Plum. Here's Walsh to Lewis. 3 tackles left in this set. Walsh. Now here is Burns. And the defence has him covered rather comfortably. Mitchell Pearce, the tackler. Walsh, Weston. This time he hangs on to it. 25 metres away. Just to the left of centre field on the last tackle. Luke Walsh decides to run it and Lewis drops it. Picked up here by Anasta, who finds Linnett, who tried to get it away. They've taken their advantage from behind the Roosters and the Panthers have come up with it.
Todd Carney would have been away again with that if that ball around the corner had stuck.
Pearce trying to put a bit of pressure on Tim Grant. Seliuini out of acting half. Away from Friend, who came again. There's the siren. Expect the kick here from Walsh. And it was really a nothing kick, and Phil Graham will run it over the dead ball line. Well, what an extraordinary first 40 minutes on NRL Sunday, with the Roosters 24 leading the Panthers 14 down to the touchline. Brett Kamali.
Well, you guys made reference to what was a smartphone when we spoke about the Fox Sports app. Let's see if the halftime coaches can deliver some smart footballs for the second half. How many mistakes have we seen? Are the Roosters going to get away with a win?
We will take a break on NRL Sunday and come back with all the action as we review what has been an extraordinary first half. Braithen Astor gets us underway for the second 40 minutes. The Roosters leading by 8, and the Panthers first use of the football through Weston defending the northern end of the SFS. A fine Sunday afternoon, but very windy in Sydney. And Plum very slow to play that football and gets up holding his head. Of course, Trent Waterhouse is already off the field injured. And there is Petro sitting next to Trent Waterhouse. 50-50 whether he'll be back with that medial ligament strain. Grant plays it right on the halfway line. Here is the last, and Walsh into the corner. There's Graham on the goal line. Tackle made by Brad Tye. 8 metres out from his own line, so the pressure on here for the Roosters to get out of their own end, and they lure, offloading under pressure, and Perrott almost away. And tackle made by Seliuini.
3, hands away.
And Astor, 30 out from his own line. Riles.
Ball, let go now.
Gee, walked off the mark a couple of times there, Jason Riles, but I think perhaps with some attention from a Panthers defender, so the referee let him go.
Roney plays it. Pearce. They get to their kick, the Roosters. Is it too much on it, or is it perfectly weighted? Just too much. Back to the 20 for the restart for the Panthers. Let's find out what happened at halftime. Brett Kamali on the touchline.
We're talking about the Panthers. Steve Georgalis, the honeymoon is over. Disappointed at halftime, filthy at his players, was very mad. Disappointed in the mistakes, bad passes and poor discipline. Brian Smith, on the other hand, really upbeat, happy with how his side's going. Wants him to keep shifting the ball sideline to sideline. He thinks the Panthers players are missing 3 times the tackles that the Roosters are. He's confident they're going to get home with a win on the back of playing football today.
Weston plays it, 10 short of the halfway line. Walsh. Lewis through the tackle of Arona. Where's the support? Ty's on his outside. He's got Coote on his inside, and Pearce has come up with a wonderful tackle. They still have an opportunity here, the Panthers. Walsh. Now it comes to Burns. Inside to Smith. The Roosters have regrouped well, but here's an opportunity up the middle of the ruck for Grant. He thought about flicking it out the back, but the Roosters defence regrouped again. Friend was there. Now Walsh. Lewis, last tackle. Throws it in hope. Coote into the in-goal area. over the dead ball line. Great defence from the Roosters. They had an opportunity though, Penrith.
They did have a chance. It was some great defence in the end. Wonderful tackle by Mitchell Pearce. I think that ball may have gone forward. That last desperate flick out the back there from Luke Lewis was picked up by Coote. Well, here's the initial bust by Lewis. Throws the dummy, and Pearce, he stepped inside Pearce, but he just managed to get hold of him. Effort the halfback for the Roosters.
Carney. The ball's come out, and Celiuini with open space in front of him. Friend stopped him though. Todd Carney hasn't moved in back play. He's in real trouble. Weston. He's still on the ground, Carney. They're one short defensively, the Roosters. And a very slow play, the ball. Now Walsh, Lewis back on the angle, inside Arona, Graham to beat, he can't stop him, and Luke Lewis answers the challenge for the Penrith Panthers by scoring first after half-time.
Oh, what a start in the second half. Look, they're a man down, and that's Todd Carney. He was on his side of the field. Well, mind you, he does defend a little bit wider, but Disneyland, I think, after a mistake on a carry back. Lewis has already made a bust since half-time, and here he goes. Back up the inside. Tough to stop from there. A couple still to beat, but strong enough and enough footwork to get him through. Oh, look at that beautiful little inside step there he put on Arona. And he beat two men over the line.
Well, when you need a big play, you go to your big players. And Luke Lewis answers the challenge. What a player he is. Todd Carney returning back to the defensive line after he copped an accidental knock, I think, to the head there. Brad Tye was going for the football when he saw it come loose.
Yeah, absolutely. He was dropping into that tackle. Certainly accidental.
Travis Burns converts the try, and we're back to within 2 points. 22 points to 20. The Roosters over the Panthers. And the start that Steve Georgalis was after for his Penrith Panthers. And once again, another try coming on the back of a team making a mistake inside their own half. Michael Gordon looks on, out for the season with the knee injury. And he would have played Origin, you would have thought, if it wasn't for that injury as well.
He was
an outstanding form.
Playing great, wasn't he? At the back there, filling in at fullback for
This is over the dead ball line on the full. If they would have got back there, the Panthers, and then Lachlan Coote almost slipped over the dead ball line.
One there, let go.
Never ceases to amaze you, that does it, that players don't quite get that right.
Didn't call down.
You stand on or over the dead ball line waiting for the football.
Just has to have a foot on the line, just touching it, and then touch the ball. And they almost slipped over the dead ball line. Another penalty conceded by the Roosters, though, to get Penrith out of their own end. Celiuini at acting half. Here's Weston. From where he had the ball, lost the ball, according to the referees. He's run strongly, Dane Weston, since he's been on the field. Over the halfway line. Now the Panthers through Plum, slow to his feet again. Here's Grant.
Roll away, roll away.
Celiuini out of acting half. It is the last tackle. Walsh decides to take them on. The ball here to Burns. Plenty of plays there. He went the wrong way. Lachlan Coote kicks. Kenny Dowell over the dead ball line. Well, they had 3-on-1 on the left there, the Panthers, and they came back to the right.
Oh, they really opened them up, though, easily, didn't they? The big right foot step by Luke Walsh. Just have a look at this on the last tackle. Players going to sleep, starting to cover a kick that didn't come. He did well to get that on the foot there, Lachlan Coote, and not too big. You see Petro Sivanasiva waiting to get back on the park there for the Panthers.
Mossy Masoi in trouble for the Roosters in the back play, which means Nate Miles has come on the field. That's their 4th interchange, the Roosters. And here comes Western returning it at 100 miles an hour. Straight, Kane Linnett who makes the tackle. Here's Purtell. The Roosters have been very dusty around the ruck area after half-time, missing quite a few tackles and easily being stepped. Here's Plum, 10 metres away from the line. Saliuini asking which way are we going. They decide to go to the left through Burns. Drops the ball back to Vaivai. He's 5 metres away from the line. Walsh. Grant behind him. He wasn't expecting that. I thought he was the decoy. So did Grant, but he stuck the hand out and grabbed it. Last tackle chance here for the Panthers. They had numbers. Luke Lewis throws it away. And the interception by Leilua. If they went through the hands a bit quicker, they were in trouble, the Roosters.
There wasn't a great set there. It wasn't for the Panthers in that strong attacking position. Just couldn't quite find the right men. Times probably should have scored the set before. Petro on the field, and he's giving away a penalty, trying to slow down the play of the ball there. Roosters really needed that. They've defended sets, 6 sets in the 9 minutes since the break, and of course they've been scored against once as well. So there'll be some players down there feeling the pinch.
Riles. Opportunity now for the Roosters. 40 metres out from the Panthers line. Miles. Taken there by Grant. Nathan Smith involved in the tackle as well. Pass floated forward from Nuasala. Referee says it was fine. Simons, 25 out from the line. Miles, 20 metres away. Sivanasiva, Smith involved in the tackle with Tim Grant. Friend across field. Now Frank Paul Nuasala chopped down by Luke Lewis. It is the last tackle. Quick play the ball here to Friend. Friend out of acting half. It just opened up Mitchell Pearce. It hit his leg. I think that's still play on. And now Riles has knocked the ball on.
First one was forward.
No, they're saying the pass was forward to Mitchell Pearce. Well, I thought if it was play on, Jason Riles had a chance of scoring because I thought it hit the leg of Mitchell Pearce.
Yeah, it was touch and go. The pass from Friend really opened up for him, didn't it? Once again, you see when players elect to run it on the last tackle that defenders starting to prepare themselves for the kick can leave all sorts of gaps in the defensive line.
One of the Panthers defenders raced out of the defensive line. I wasn't sure who it was. As Saliuini leaves the field for Kevin Kingston to come back on.
Well, of course, they race out of the line because the coach's instructions is put pressure on Walsh or on the kicker, on Pearce. And that'll happen all day.
40-20 opportunity here, Walsh, but Leilua has it covered. And a good chase here from the Panthers, Ty and Purtell. Perrott can give away a penalty to the Panthers. And they've got teams pinned down this end of the field, and the Roosters are really struggling to get any momentum here. There's a shot on Braith and Astor. Great tackle, Luke Lewis. Doesn't get much better than that. Braith and Astor was nailed by Tarek Sims in North Queensland, and then he was nailed by Luke Lewis.
Oh, he timed that well, didn't he? He was really up out of the defensive line quickly. Got him with the right shoulder.
Here's Coote with the return.
Let go!
Simmons. Friend making another tackle. Sivanasiva. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Grant. Here's Walsh. Purtell back on the inside. Easily covered by the Roosters. Tipped on by Walsh to Coote. The crowd thought it was forward. And I thought he tipped it backwards and was forced back in the tackle, which made it look like it had travelled forward when it hadn't. Now Walsh into the corner. And Graham on his goal line and has some work to do here. Gives it to Leilua. And they're 5 out from their own line here, the Roosters. Quick play the ball. Kenny Dowell out of acting half. Nathan Smith with the tackle. Another quick play of the ball. Here's Linnett. Purtell defending. Here's Graham. Strong defence from the Panthers on that occasion. 30 away from their own line here, the Roosters. Miles. Easy hit there for the Penrith defence. Around the legs was Kingston. Purtell and Siva involved. Last tackle, Pearce thought about running it and then decided to kick, and Simmons takes it. And 20 out now from his own line, and Pearce does well. One-on-one to make the tackle.
He did very well. He did think about passing it to the right there. They've just gone on with it a little bit too long. Simons and Pearce in that tackle. It was a great effort until that point. I did think they had a chance to run it on the right there, the Roosters.
Here's Petro again. Another hit up.
Let go.
Grant. Running there. And Anthony Mitchell, who's on the field. His first bit of action today. Plum. Chopped down. Now Walsh back on the angle here to Lewis, who's lost the ball. That went forward.
Way forward.
Clearly no call from the touch judge. Matchikin saying play on, nothing wrong. Well, I beg to differ. Luke Lewis got away with one there. It wasn't a forward pass, it was a knock on. Siva tackle. It is the last. I think the Roosters fans blow up if the Panthers score from here. Not his best kick though. Luke Walsh. Here's Leilua. He's offside in Astor. Well, they get one back.
Well, they've evened it up. There you go. I'd like to see both of those again. They were a couple of terrible decisions.
Perrin bounces away from Plum. Now to Pearce. Kenny Dowell, one-on-one with Vai. He makes a good tackle. In fact, that's Simons, I think it is. Kenny Dowell coming into acting half. Carney. Now here's Miles. Over the halfway line.
Come on.
Pearce. Now Kenny Dowell. Stepping. Pearce away from Siva. Here's Carney, runs into Lewis. Monsters him. It is the last tackle here for the Roosters. Pearce high in the air, holding up in the breeze. Lachlan Coote doesn't take it. Braithen Astor does, and the Roosters are in again. They can't stop scoring points all of a sudden. The Sydney Roosters, and they lead by 6. The captain, Braithen Astor, steals it out of the hands of Lachlan Coote.
He hasn't been heavily involved today, Braithen Astor, but this is a play that his side desperately needed. Weren't really going anywhere in this second half. The Roosters haven't really put any great attack in this end of the field against the Panthers. But have a look at him. His eyes always for the football. Steals it out of the hands of one of the best bomb takers in the business. Just a bit too big, bit too tall for him, Braithen Astor. Under the posts. The 8-point lead. They'll have it again after this Carney kick.
First try since round 1. Braithen Astor. Not a time to score it. And adjacent to the post. Todd Carney. To make it 28 points to 20. Little trouble converting there. And it is an 8-point lead again for the Sydney Roosters as we head down to the touchline. Brett Kamali.
Isn't it funny, for the first 55 minutes of this game, after every try was scored, the same side made a mistake. Would you think Brian Smith's message would be, boys, complete this set to a kick and play down the other end of the field?
Easier said than done, though, it seems today. As the Panthers with a wobbly old kick, and Pearce had to change direction to take it. Let's see if they can get to their kick as Riles will play it. Just shy of the 20-metre line. Well, the Panthers all in front of the referee there. They went early. Those two that tackled there, Sivanasiva and Kingston in particular. Kenny Dow and Kingston is this time penalised. He should have been penalised last time. Georgalis looks on. Steve Georgalis, the coach. Do you reckon he might be getting that sinking feeling at the moment?
Well, not quite. Only 8 points in it, but they keep making these mistakes, giving away penalties. They're going to be further behind on the scoreboard. The Panthers, they're building the Roosters' confidence by the minute. The Panthers.
Miles, Takarangi on the field. His first involvement this afternoon. Mitchell. There's an Asta. Cuts out Graham to Carney. Tackle made by Walsh. Also there was Lewis. And Asta down the short side. Graham with the dummy. And Phil Graham gets a double. And maybe, just maybe, the Sydney Roosters season is still alive.
Hold on. It's going to be tackle 4. We're just checking to see if he's dropped that in there, mate. We want to see if he's dropped it in that play the ball. We're checking to see if he's dropped it in the play the ball.
Well, you heard it there. They want to check. Travis Burns desperately asking the referee to go to the video ref. Nothing wrong with what the run or the put down, but let's just have a look in the play the ball here. Nate Miles it is.
Well, they can't check that. Because once it's the next play, it's the next tackle. This gets tackled here, and Anasta goes into acting half. But I was under the impression that once he drops the ball, if he drops the ball there, that's the tackle before, and he can't rule on that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it anyway. What were we looking at?
He may have lost it, but they can't rule on that.
But he didn't.
We've got to stop players. Yes, he did.
No.
We've got to stop players running at the referee, though. But see, I under the impression that that was the play before.
Yeah, well, it's not the new play until it's cleared the ruck. Is that right? Or did he actually lose it, or did he hang on to it?
He lost it. He clearly lost it. My argument's always been it shouldn't matter when the incident occurred. If you want to get it right, you've got to get it right. What is the point? If you have these little rules, we can't go back to the play before. All right, we can't keep going back. Well, why not? If you want to get it right, if you want to use technology, use it properly.
So what are you saying? Try or no try?
It's no try. Ref's call.
Petro, break.
Don't know what. See, he can't rule on that. The video referee. That's why it's ref's call.
We checked it. We believe there's a hand in there. We can't allow the try, but they're getting the penalty.
So a Penrith hand in there in the play the ball has forced an error.
Well, they smothered pretty well because the video referee wasn't allowed to rule on it. That's why he went back with ref's call. They're going to take the 2 points here, the Roosters, and that's a bit of a surprise. 8 points, 10 points.
It is. Extend that lead, but still means
because the
Panthers are 2 points, 2 converted tries behind.
Because the ball hasn't been brought back into play. We can't. It's got to be brought back into play once it's played.
It was a good play, wasn't it, down that short side by Phil Graham?
You understand what Matt Chikin was saying there about the ball being brought back into play. Even though there was an infringement there, play hadn't started. And so therefore they couldn't award the try because the play hadn't started, because the play the ball hadn't taken place. If you lose the ball on the play the ball, bang, the whistle gets blown, you can't play on. Because the tackle's completed, you've got to play the ball. If you don't play the ball, the play hasn't started. And that's why the video referee can't check it.
Too much ref speak for me.
I'll explain it in the car on the way home. There's the 2 points from Todd Carney. Maybe a halfback may be able to understand Brett Kamali. They got away with one there, the Panthers, but they're in trouble here.
They're in a lot of trouble, and I understand what the ref's saying. The ball wasn't in play. I do understand that, but I'm very curious about, is 8 points or 10 points any different? Take the tap, score a try, the game is then over. Penrith's still alive at the moment.
I want to start playing better.
Well, if they score 2 tries and don't convert one, it is. You're still in the game. It's extra time if the Panthers do that. So, yeah, I can see why they took those points.
I think
they were a gift.
They're hanging on at the moment, Penrith. After conceding that, when it was a very soft try there for Graham, in inverted commas, it was poor. They will be thinking, geez, we thought we were going to be down by 6, we're only down by 2. They're away again, though, the Roosters. The Penrith Panthers, they are in trouble here. Sean Kenny-Dowell has tackled on the halfway line. Quick play the ball. Here come the Roosters. Mitchell Pearce. Frank Paul Nuwasala. Straight over the top of Luke Lewis. Taken from behind by who else but Petro Sivanasiva, who gives away the penalty in the sin bin for the second time in season 2011. Petro.
Off you go, Petro.
Matt
Go or you won't come back.
Sin binned him against the Broncos.
Get an advantage. That's what we're doing here.
Well, he knew his side was in trouble there, Petro. He made that tackle, and if he jumped off there and it was a quick play the ball for the Roosters, they were really on the back foot. Look at big Frank Paul there powering his way over the top of one defender, and he just rolled over him, held his ground for too long.
Here's Pearce. Takes the line on. Kingston with the tackle. So too McKendry. Mitchell. There's Riles. They can sniff it. They can taste it here, the Roosters. They lead by 10. Mitchell. And Asta. Here's Graham. Denied a double a short time ago. He's only 5 away from the line. And Asta, the ball hit an 8 miles. Good goal line defence on this occasion. Travis Burns over the top. Smith around the legs. Last tackle. They must score here. The Roosters hold Sean Kenny-Dowell. And maybe this time they're on their way back. 34 points to 20. And the Roosters finally have something to smile about.
They were a man short all the time there, of course, the Panthers with Sivanasiva in the sin bin, but it took a wonderful pass there from Mitchell Pearce to get the ball on the outside. The first instinct would have been to run it. They were really short here when Arona didn't... Oh, no, it was Vaivai who didn't make the tackle, but he just took a couple of steps, Pearce, threw the long ball out wide, got it outside. Simmons, 2 men out wide, and Kenny-Dowell over for the try in the corner. They'll be hard to run down from here still. Time is on the side of the Panthers.
Well, not form-wise, though. They haven't scored this many points since round 1, the Roosters.
Which year?
Well, in fact, if
2011.
if you added up all the points they've scored in the last 3 games, they haven't scored as many points as they've scored today. Maybe even 4.
We said it after their first try in the second half here. The Panthers, I think, have played them back into some sort of form, the Roosters.
Well, Brian Smith was confident before the game in the pre-game show with the interview. He could feel a good performance coming. It certainly has been a better performance from the Roosters, but the Panthers, well,
we heard they were confident last week. They had a mini camp midweek and didn't turn out real good.
Here's Todd Carney from the touchline. 14 points now. Here's the difference. This to make it 16. Is it coming back? No, it's not. And so the score remains 34 points to 20 as we go down to the touchline. Brett Kamali. The Panthers have no option now. They have to throw caution to the wind, but they must tighten up their defence.
Yeah, certainly defence is very loose, but what they have done is they've played the Roosters in the form. You guys said it. Frank Paul-Nu'uausala, outstanding. Sean Kenny-Dowell, a lot of space today. And on the back of that, Carney and Pearce playing some football at him.
And they've got just 12 on the field at the moment because Petro Sivanasiva is in the sin bin for the second time this year from the same referee, Matt Chicken.
Let go.
Do you think it was a tough call?
No, I don't think so. I think, we don't see it that often, but Petro certainly was trying to slow the ball down, and was even prepared to give the penalty away, and that's what it's there for. Maybe 10 minutes, the argument.
Yeah, I would have thought if they were closer to the line, they were definitely going to score. If they played it, maybe it'd be a certain 10 in the bin, but there's plenty of those where you just penalty is sufficient. It's a pretty tough call on him.
Kenny-Dowell. Carney dummying there to Frank Paul-Nu'uausala. Then he's offside. Sean Kenny-Dowell. Well, that's sort of the stuff we saw in the first half. That play there from the Roosters, he just lost the ball. Todd Carney, then it was kicked by Graham, and Sean Kenny-Dowell was in an offside position.
I know he scored 2 tries today, Todd Carney, done some good things, but it's just something about his game at the moment. It's off, isn't it? It's not quite right. Made a couple of errors that uncharacteristic.
Burns will play it. Here's Plum. With 13 minutes to go. They've got to score 3 times. Penrith. Lewis. Carney.
Won't be for lack of effort on this bloke's behalf. Luke Lewis has been outstanding in this second half in particular.
Plum off and Seliuini on for Penrith. As Burns steps inside, and the cover was there from Mitchell. Quick play the ball. Here's Walsh. Now they've got a chance here. Penrith. Purtell had a man on his outside. Walsh taps it back to Lewis. The Roosters have scrambled particularly well there. Now it comes to Ty. Ty across field. Still going across field. Lachlan Coote. Now Travis Burns has been absolutely monstered by Sean Kenny-Dowell, and somehow the Roosters have denied the Panthers.
Oh, desperate tackle there. Kenny-Dowell jamming in. They were way short. It was on 20 metres in field where the centre made this tackle on Travis Burns. Forced the ball out. Might have got him in the ribs. You just see the little flick out there from Coote as he catches it. Kenny-Dowell turns up. Maybe across a little bit higher than the ribs. Yeah, he's felt that one on the chin or the jaw.
Well, don't forget you can follow the stats of your favourite player during today's game at our new mobile site. Just tap mfoxsports.com.au into the browser on your smartphone to access live player stats and results at any time. And it's a great free service, so get on board at m.foxsports.com.au. Sean Kenny-Dowell pushing in back play, and play goes on. Nate Miles has tackled just short of the halfway line. Now here's Nu'uausala.
Fifth and last.
Last tackle. Pearce kicking into the corner. Terrific kick by Mitchell Pearce. He finds touch, and that is what the Roosters were after. Slows the clock down and makes the Panthers forwards turn around, walk back, and get to the scrum, which they are showing no urgency whatsoever in doing. And that in itself tells the story.
Yeah, there is a time when you've got a lead like this for some cool heads to prevail, and Mitchell Pearce knows his side is very excited and happy to throw the football around. A lot of their passes have stuck today. It's a good time with 10 to go to get that ball drilled into the corner with a big chase. And of course, if it goes over the sideline, even better.
We would like to have seen a little bit more urgency from the Panthers to get back to that scrum, stop the clock.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? They've got to score 3 times.
Here's McKendry. That's a better run. Up to the 40. Burns inside to Simmons. Over the halfway line. Seliuini out of acting half, and he's tackled on 5. 35 out from the line. Burns to Walsh. Puts it high. Graham under it. 10 out from his own line. Takes it very well. And the Roosters will work it out from their end. The Rabbitohs next week on Super Saturday, the Roosters. While the Panthers also on Super Saturday. At home to Parramatta, the Battle of the West. I want to play better than this. Ball out the back. Tapped on by Nuasala. There's Perrott on the inside. Graham.
He's had a really good game, hasn't he, Phil Graham, from fullback?
Yes. Kenny Dow into touch. Now let's see if these Penrith forwards run to the scrum here with less than 9 minutes to go, and there's no urgency.
There's
again.
none at all. Have they conceded? They can't come back from here, or are they just too stuffed? They've been on the back foot. Plenty of football in the Roosters' hands in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, we've got 5 men in that scrum, of course. Petro Civoniceva still in the sin bin.
Should be back in this set for the Panthers. Simmons will play it. Kingston. Across the chest, says the referee. The tackler was Mitchell. Seliuini. And Asta with the tackle over the top, and Friend was around the legs. Lewis. Now time to Purtell. Two left in this set here for Penrith. Now Lewis with the dummy. No way through there. And here comes Petro Civoniceva back from the sin bin. Walsh. Burns. Little kick. Is he taken out? Coote. Off the shoulder there of Graham. Tapped. Not far enough by Perrott. Did he get there? Gee whiz, it's close. Lachlan Coote, I'm not prepared to write him off.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of these where it looks like it's dead. It's gone too far. I think Lachlan Coote, from my angle here, or our angle here, looked like he might have placed it on the dead ball line, but we've been proven wrong on a few occasions this year.
I'm not prepared to make a judgment. It looked as though it was over the dead ball line, but in this day and age, the way these players can score tries from nowhere, they're all onside there. And he was kicked again by himself.
It was going so far dead that, but it was only for the hands there or the body there of Phil Graham. Oh,
it's close.
Front on, I think he's got more of a chance than we thought. And if he has scored, the good thing for the Panthers is that the clock has stopped.
Oh,
I think he has.
It might be.
He has.
Oh, you just... Now, looking to see whether Nathan Smith is in front of the kicker there.
Line ball.
Look, benefit of the doubt at worst. And once it's been hit the shoulder, once he's inside the 10, he can't be placed onside. Now we have to see whether or not
the next frame is going to say that it's on the line.
Dead ball line. No try.
No, I tell you what, there's a blade of grass in it.
Well, that one, it looks like he's got it down, but the other shot, I think, shows that it's on the dead ball line. I mean, that looks like it's inside.
It does. It certainly does there. It looks like his hand is inside, but
that's what happens when the different camera angles, what they call it, prolax error or whatever it's called, some technical term. Look, there it looks like it's a try.
If that's the last angle we look at, I reckon they'll give that as a try.
Benefit of the doubt, they most probably go, because one looks like it is, one looks like it isn't.
And it looks fine from there.
Well, how can
absolutely.
How do you tell?
Well, I'm saying from there, I mean, it looks like it's placed before the dead ball line.
I can't tell. He might go benefit of the doubt here.
He will.
He does. Lachlan Coote gets the benefit of the doubt try. There was a bit of doubt. It was a bizarre try on a bizarre day, and now Travis Burns continues his perfect record. And the bounce of the ball, that ricochet off the shoulder of Phil Gray and Brett Kamali, is that enough to maybe give Penrith a sniff here?
Well, Penrith looked like they had given up all those scrums and wasted time and looked a bit lost. Just watch here, you see Sam Perrott. Gary Belcher is a good fullback. Don't you just ground the football? Why do you try and throw it always over the dead ball line? Ground it still is a line drop in my mind.
I asked myself that question a few times too.
So you don't have an answer for it?
No, I don't. No. Well, you just do what you can as you get to the football.
Here's a big set. Nasta with the restart. They couldn't come back, could they, Penrith?
Well, they got time.
Well, they could.
Absolutely. If they score in the next couple of sets when they have the football, they'll convert. They're 2 behind.
Sivanasiva.
2. Here's the foot.
Walsh. Lewis. Linnett with the tackle. Carney there as well. Walsh. They go wide. Burns. Coote around the back. Kenny Dowell and Pearce are there waiting for him. Simons comes in to assist. And the 10 short of the halfway line. 2 tackles left in the set. Kingston. Over the halfway line. At least they'll get to their kick in this set, the Panthers, but the clock winds down. Less than 5.5 to go. Walsh, little chip over the top. Purtell, bounce important. It's a Roosters bounce. Linnett comes up with it and gives it to Leilua.
They're still looking to offload there. Leilua himself also wanted to pop out a little right-hand pass.
Can they force an error here, the Panthers? Linnett is tackled by Sivanasiva. Friend. Rangi numbers here. Simons into some space. Over the top to Kenny Dowell, who had to wait for it. Almost dropped it under the tackle initially of Burns, and Simmons came up with it. Takarangi away from one. Can't get away from Vaivai. Pearce. Carney across field. Todd Carney had on his inside Anasta, but couldn't get it to him. Quick play, the ball. Pearce, last tackle, it's opened up. Bounce important, they get in each other's way. Can you believe it? Linnett and Leilua denied each other a try.
Mitchell Pearce there, he put a little kick in. If he throws the dummy, I reckon for sure, he would have gone over. The Panthers were really struggling to get back defensively. Didn't have enough numbers there. Just wanted to look for his outside men. Plays very unselfish. That was a time to have a crack himself.
And Luke Lewis is in real trouble in back play for the Panthers.
Luke Walsh.
Luke Walsh, I should say. My apologies. That is my fault. I meant to say Luke Walsh, not Luke Lewis. Here is Luke Walsh.
Well, this is it. This is it for the Panthers. Need to score on this set.
You want your halfback fully fit when the game's on the line, and he's got a pretty ordinary limp there, Luke Walsh. Although it's disappeared there, Purtell. They had that ball covered on the inside. He threw it back McKendry, wasn't expecting it, and the Roosters have come up with it, and that may be enough for them.
Really needed to get to a kick there, you know. Luke Walsh's kicking game is so good, even if they hoisted it in the air and tried their luck, the Panthers, but on 4th tackle come up with an error.
Perrott. Taken high-ish by Sivanasiva. The crowd didn't like it. The referee said it was okay. Kenny Dowell. Still going. Kenny Dowell. And Travis Burns didn't like being pushed off and jumped back over the top to assist in the tackle. Friend. Here is the last. Carney, high. Tester here for Coote. Players being pushed away and falling over and tripping over each other.
Oh, boys, hold.
And Lachlan Coote has come up with possession, but the chasers for the Roosters Well, they got in each other's way or interfered with by some Penrith defenders. In the end, doesn't matter. The Panthers need to go 98 metres to score. And then hope for some sort of a miracle. Walsh. Lewis. And Astor slows him down. Back to Sivanasiva. He goes forward. Offload. Back to McKendry. It is the last tackle. Lachlan Coote looking for a 40-20, and he'll get it too. But the time is running out. The Panthers have got to get down there and pack this scrum quickly to have any chance.
Well, they're a bit slow. They've got to get there, stop that clock. But gee, even if they scored in the next tackle, you'd wonder if there's enough time.
Well, they've got to score from the scrum. They just can't afford even a tackle, you wouldn't think, with, what, 67 seconds
if
left.
They score, they need it to go to the video referee, so the clock gets stopped.
Pretty much. Because the Roosters will be in no hurry to bring it back to halfway to kick off as well. Maybe an 8-point try. We saw one in Origin. Vai.
Held one, let go. Hold.
Sivanasiva. But they're not going to score by doing that anymore. Back to the centre of the ruck, which is tightened up for the Roosters. Vai. Walsh. Here's Burns. Stepping. Back on the inside. Coote. Hurdling. Lewis. Pearce there to make the tackle. Luke Lewis throws it away. And that will be all she wrote. The Roosters' season is still alive, but only just. Neither side in a hurry to pack this scrum. And just their 5th win of the season. And all have been here at the Sydney Football Stadium. And the Sydney Roosters are still in the hunt. Full time at the Sydney Football Stadium. It is the Roosters 34, the Panthers 26.
There's life in the Roosters. As you said, only just. They need to string plenty of wins together, but they had to start sometime. It's been ordinary in recent weeks. Wasn't really pretty today, but they chanced their arm. They had a go. I reckon their coach, Brian Smith, would be very happy about the fact that they did turn up to play some football.